Hi, and welcome to the orientation and marketing video. Today we're going to discuss goals, pay structure, marketing strategies, our process that the clients will be going through, why they should always choose BHA, common questions you're going to get along the way, and ultimately how to get off to a fast start. I read somewhere the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your first step in this journey with BHA is always going to start with your goals. The reason we talk about goals so much here is because ultimately you have to begin with the end in mind. You got to know what you want it to look like. For some people, it's a big house and a fancy car. For others, it's freedom. What is it for you? Because if you don't know what you want, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to make a dime at BHA because you don't have any direction. So first, take a minute and write down your goals. How much money do you want to earn, and why do you want to earn that money? What are you looking for at BHA? What's funny is the importance of goals is something that I've had the privilege of meeting several successful athletes and business owners, and the common denominator has always been that both the athletes and the business owners have written daily goals. I had the opportunity of meeting a gentleman who's 40 years old, worth over $500 million, owns over 30 companies. After talking to him for over an hour during breakfast, I was a little overwhelmed, and I asked him, what are a few tips that you would give me that I can kind of take away from this? And he said, I'll give you two. Number one, have a mentor, somebody who's been where you're at and is currently where you want to be or where you aspire to be. And number two, write your goals down 3 to 5 times a day. He showed me on his phone he had alarms set for every 3 to 5 hours so that he would write down his goals daily. The guy is 40 years old, worth over $500 million. I don't believe in coincidences. So naturally, I'd be lying to you if I told you I wrote my goals down 3 to 5 times a day, but I do absolutely write my goals down once a day, every single day, and I always have a written copy of my goals down on me at all times. I never leave home without my wallet, my keys, my phone, and my goals. It's that important to me. I don't believe in, like I said, I don't believe in coincidences, and so if you don't have any direction in life, you're not going to go anywhere. So you got to ask yourself, what is it you're looking for? For some people, like I said, they want to be able to put a down payment on a nice house, or they want a new fancy car. I put pictures of a Lamborghini and a mansion up, but that doesn't mean that's what your goals have to be. Your goals can be, you want to save puppies in Africa. That's awesome. God bless you. But they don't have to be. And you don't have to be shy either way. These goals are here to move you. They depend on anybody else. No one else's opinion matters about this. What is it that motivates you and moves you to do what it is necessary to get done? For some people, they just don't want to be paycheck to paycheck anymore. So if they made $10,000 during tax season, they'd be able to get out of the grind and the rut that they've been in. For some people, they like the opportunity of a franchise with us. They wanted to be in a position where 3 to 5 years from now, they can have $60,000 to $70,000 coming in passively. They wanted to get a second chance at life, or in some instances, a third or a fourth chance, right? Maybe it's just to be free. That's a big one. To be able to breathe without having the constant pressure or fear. Not having to worry that you're going to swipe your card and you're going to get declined. Funny thing is, every time you actually do get declined, you just so happen to be in front of 15 people waiting on you. Maybe it's something small. Maybe it's not any of the big things I just mentioned. Maybe it's something as little as being able to look outside, see that it's raining, and turn back around, take your kids to the living room, get a couple cups of hot cocoa, and turn the TV on. Watch TV with your kids. It could be anything. What does freedom mean to you? Because ultimately, that's what is my goal for you. My goal for you is that you get to taste a little bit of freedom. I think you guys are a little distracted by the TV. I'm going to go ahead and turn the TV off. But what is freedom for you? Is it getting out of debt? Not having a car payment or a mortgage to pay? When you make money, what are you going to do with that money this tax season? Write down the dollar amount 5,000, the dollar amounts 10,000, 20,000, and 50,000. Realistically, your first year in taxes is going to range somewhere in there. Really, it's completely a reflection of how hard you work, but somewhere in there is what it's going to look like. And next to 5,000, I want you to take a minute and write down what you're going to do with the first $5,000 you're going to make. For a lot of people, they're going to catch up on the holiday debt that they incurred. Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, they're really expensive. And they're back to back, so a lot of people, they go through that season just on credit cards alone. Then down at the $10,000, write down what you're going to do with the $10,000. So if $5,000 was enough to cover all your credit card debt, then what are you going to do with the next $10,000? What about the next $20,000? For most people at $50,000, you will have doubled your income. A lot of people know folks in the tax world that work 3 to 4 months out of the year and they retire for the next 8-9 months. I want you to make money, but I urge you to be responsible with your money. One of the mistakes I made early on in my career, I was young and naive, was I would blow my money right and left. And so naturally, I'd come out of tax season, and in the months of May and June, you thought I was a baller. But by the time October and November came around, I was starving and waiting for tax season to come back around. So I urge you, be responsible with your money. I don't want BHA just to be a kickstart for the year. I want this to be a kickstart for your life. I want the relationship you have with BHA to be one that lasts several seasons, so that you have to save most of your money, because ultimately freedom comes when you're bulletproof and no one can put their thumb on you. I want you to be in a position where, if not by the end of the first tax season, let this being your first tax season, but definitely by the end of your second tax season, your boss can't tell you nothing. You walk a little different in life. You're not worried about bills because you've got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in a bank account waiting on you in the event something happens. See, what's funny is a lot of times people think being free means you got to have millions of dollars. For me, what I realized was the first taste of freedom I had was when I had $10,000 in my bank account after all my bills were taken care of. When I had $10,000, I had gotten a flat tire and my mood was not off. I wasn't upset. I didn't care. I wasn't worried. It took an emergency and made it an inconvenience. I don't know if you knew this or not, but AAA actually offers tire repair services on spot. They'll change out your tires for you. I didn't know that because I never grew up with money and that was never an option. But when you had $10,000, all of a sudden, the $80 inconvenience doesn't bother you so much. So I want you to be bulletproof. I want you to be in a position where no one can tell you what to do, how to do it. They can't put your thumb on you. After 2 or 3 years, I want you to be in a position where you replace your income and you start making in 3 months what you used to make all year. Now look, I'm not promising the world. There's plenty of false prophets that will gladly sell you on a dream that they know you won't accomplish, all in pursuit of a profit. If you want to make millions, I can teach you how to do that as well, but you need to learn how to walk before you can learn how to fly. So let's work on making you $15,000 to $20,000 first, and then we'll focus on the millions later. We're not going to talk pie in the sky type stuff. After doing that, when you make $15,000 to $20,000, when you're making $40,000 or $50,000 during the tax season in a year or 2 or 3, and you get to live and retire after that, all I want from you is for you to be in a position that you get to go back and pursue your passion and your dreams. See, the reality is most people left high school with a twinkle in their eye saying that they're going to go be somebody. They're going to go accomplish their goals and their dreams. They're going to pursue what they were meant to pursue. But I want you to think for a second. How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams? For some of you, it's $30,000. You had a dream, you could have pursued it, but when you become an adult, somehow bills come with it. So you said, you know what, I'm going to postpone my dreams. I'm going to postpone my hobbies, my goals, my passion. I got to pay some bills. When were you going to stop doing that and go back to following your dreams? Everyone had an exit plan, right? You were 22, you figured, you know what, no big deal, I'm going to start working. By the time I'm 25, by the time I'm 27, by the time I'm 30, I'll go back. My hope is that over the next 3 to 5 years, you're in a position where you do get to go back. And the reason for that is because I read somewhere once that the richest place on earth isn't the diamond mines of Africa or the gold mines of California, but instead it's their graveyards of men and women who never fulfill their dreams. Because in those graveyards lie books that are unwritten, cures never discovered, inventions never shared. Plus, if I can help you guys make enough money passively to pursue your dreams, all I ask for in return is that you help me by inventing a clothing system that dry cleans itself. You'd be doing me a solid. We've already got shoes that lace themselves, so if you could get clothes that dry clean themselves, I'd be forever grateful. On a more serious note, let's talk about pay structure. So at BHA, what we've designed a pay structure that's unlike anything before. When you're watching the overview video, I discussed investments and how passive income is the key to your freedom. The only places traditionally that had passive income was real estate and investments. Well, we're the first company in the tax world that does it, and this is how our pay structure works. Just to make sure we're all on the same page. Your base is 20% of whatever comes in because of you, whether you were directly responsible for it or if it was a referral due to a lead that you brought to us. I'll show you in a little bit what I mean by that. Then you get 2 bonuses. You get a recruiter's bonus for 10%, and the way you qualify for a recruiter bonus, the 10% recruiter bonus, is by recruiting 10 individuals who are qualified recruits. A qualified recruit is simply somebody who does 25 returns. That's it. And then you get a producer's bonus. And a producer's bonus comes in whenever you have crossed over 100 referrals. Once you get 100 referrals, then you get an additional 10%. So for a total of 40%. So what that looks like is this. You work hard, you get your 40% up front. Then you get 50% of whatever your current percentage is on the book of business that you've built. So essentially, if you made $30,000 this year, $15,000 of it will be paid to you in perpetuity. In other words, forever. And it builds your book of business. After 5 years, you get the opportunity to retire because then you are completely vested with a company, and then should you choose to never come back to taxes ever again, you don't have to. Matter of fact, I would recommend you not. Go live your life. Do what you wanted to do. So what that looks like is this. There's you, and those are the 3 folks, the 3 friends or family members that you refer to us. Now the reality is everybody knows only so many people. So not only do you get paid on those folks, but when they refer people out, you get paid on that business as well. Same percentage we talked about earlier. When they refer people out, same thing. You get paid on all of that. And because you get paid on everything, it allows you to make as much money as you'd like to. You're not limited to how many people you know. One of the things we're going to talk about is the 6 degrees of separation. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But what separates us is our marketing strategy. See, the difference between marketing and sales, a lot of people get it confused. Sales is persuading somebody that they need something that they don't want. Because if they wanted it, you wouldn't need a salesperson. There aren't salespeople at the Apple Store. They're just service individuals. You go into the Apple Store wanting that iPhone. Marketing is just letting people know, bringing to their awareness that you offer a service that they're looking for. So in taxes, everyone by law needs to file them. Everyone wants to go to somebody that they like and somebody they trust. All you got to do is bring it into people's awareness. Now what's cool is, when it comes to marketing, there's 3 kinds of ways of marketing. You can go into warm markets, which is people that you know directly. You can then go into a client's warm market, which is a referral. Or you can go into a natural market. And a natural market is something like, I went to high school at X high school. Well, all of my alumni from that high school, the alumni from my college. That is a natural market. It's people who have commonalities with you, but you don't really know them personally. Now, what's cool is when it comes to your warm market, this is your most fruitful of the three options. A study was done by Cambridge University, and they showed the average person knows 600 people by first name. However, the funny thing, or the most ironic thing, is in the age of social media, we only speak to about 25 people on a monthly basis consistently, regularly. So you know about 25 people that you have a good relationship with. Now what's cool is there's this thing called the 6 degrees of separation. Columbia did a study, and they found out that between you and absolutely anybody in the world, there are 6 people connecting you. Between you and anybody in the US, there's only 3 people. So in other words, between you and Bill Gates, you got to connect the dots with 3 individuals. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's friends with Bill Gates. Donald Trump, Kim Kardashian, you name it, you're 3 people away from anybody in the entire United States. So what does that mean to you? What that means is your natural warm market is not limited to the people you know. Because if we just utilize 1 degree of separation, then what we get is your 25 friends who all know 25 people on a regular basis equals 625 people that are in your personal warm market. And to make any substantial amount of money, what I tell all my guys on my team is that you just got to help 25 folks strive for 5. You've got 625 people to talk to, and you only need 25 of them. If you do that for 5 years in a row, you'll make over $100,000 a year passively for the rest of your life at least. So how do you market for them? I prefer text message templates and text message marketing. The reason for that is because for some reason, when it comes to talking on the phone, oftentimes people hesitate. They could be calling their own mom and they're going to be so nervous. I don't necessarily understand that, but it's true. Text messaging in today's day and age, it's acceptable and it's non-threatening. So the way I recommend people do it is they send a quick text message to their personal friends and family members saying, "Hey Tom, have you done your taxes yet? I just got my taxes done through a friend. The service was unbelievable. They also gave me a code that'll get both of us $25 off if you use it." They'll quickly reply usually with, "Hey, Giselle and I have been looking for a new tax guy." All you have to do as a marketer is say, "Great, what's your email address? I'll forward you his information." He'll give you his email address, and I'll show you in a little bit what you have to do with that. When you're out of your warm market, you usually are going to transition into your client's warm market. The way we utilize your client's warm market is through our Strive for 5 program. All your Strive for 5 program is how a client will get their taxes done for free. So the way it works is, and like I said, I'll show you guys exactly what the process is, but the way it works is after every single one of our clients submits their taxes through us, we're going to give them an exit call. It's more of a quality assurance call. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and 1 being you never want to do business with us ever again, where would you rank your satisfaction of doing business with BHA? Most common is 8s and 9s. People don't like giving 10s typically. Then we'll say, "Great, what got you to an 8? Well, we loved the individual, great service. Fantastic. What kept you from a 10? They had this hiccup or they weren't prompt enough or what have you." Okay, if we were able to do that for you next time, would that help you? It absolutely would. Great. Did marketer tell you about the Strive for 5 program? No, it must have slipped their mind. Okay, the Strive for 5 program is a simple referral program that allows you to get your taxes done for free. How cool would that be? Very. Then what we do is we ask them to send out the exact same text message that you sent them, saying, "Hey, I just got my taxes done with a friend of mine. Great service, was unbelievable. They gave me a code, $25 off." Send that text message to 10, 15, 20 people. If only 5 of them do business with us, we refund you all of your fees. How does that sound? And the clients, you won't believe how ecstatic they are. So what we do is we ask them, "Great, just to get it kicked off, who are 2 or 3 folks that you know that would be excited to get a call from us?" And often, more often than not, people will say, well, my cousin was talking to me about taxes, my aunt was talking to me about taxes, because currently taxes is the hot topic. I mean, during tax season, everybody talks about taxes. Now, your last method of marketing is your natural market. That's your Facebook, your social media. And honestly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's your least fruitful method of marketing. I want you to stick to your personal warm market and your clients' warm markets. But your natural market, that, like I said, is social media. Your coaches that you're going to be assigned to have templates. If you're interested in pursuing that, you're more than welcome to. They will give you those templates whenever you do your one-on-one with them. But let me show you a little bit about the process that we have at BHA. So I'm going to switch over real quick and show you guys start to finish. You just sent out all those client text messages. So now you've got, your 50, 60, 100 people that have the text message sent out saying, hey, I got my taxes done. Did you do taxes yet? $25 off, that whole thing. I would really highly recommend that you go through the process of getting your taxes done through BHA before you start referring people, just so you have an idea and an understanding of what it is that it feels like to go through as a client. But I'm going to show you here. So let's say, for example, you talk to your buddy Tom, and Tom gave you his information. What you would do then is you would come here, you go to bha.financial/getinfo. It immediately brings you to this page right here. And what you would do then is you would type in your buddy's first name. So let's say it's Tom. His last name. The email address. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use our personal email address so you guys can see what it looks like. And the phone number. You would choose whether or not they said they wanted to become a client or an associate. For right now, I'm going to click both just so you can see it. And then you would apply your personal referral code that you were given. So let's do BHA01. Okay, we click submit. And what will happen is we'll get a little thank you for contacting us. And then immediately, when you go to your inbox as a client, we get 2 emails because we chose both. This one says the next step to becoming an associate, and this one is the next step to becoming a client. Now, there's a good chance, based on your text that you sent out, they're going to want to become a client. When they click on this, this is what they're going to see. It's just a quick thank you. Upload the following documents by scanning or taking pictures. They need to upload their income documents, fill out the attached documents below, copies of social security cards. It mentions their Strive for 5 program, and it gives them their referral code immediately. So this is automatically done. It has home office's information down here, and these 2 documents are attached. So let me show you what these 2 documents look like real quick. This is the client questionnaire. The client questionnaire is what allows us to get the most detailed taxes done for the client. It is so thorough. This is kind of our secret sauce, if you will. It starts off with some basic information, and then it goes into a little bit more detail, and then the questionnaire begins. And this is a 3-page questionnaire asking a lot of the detailed questions. If you want to take a look at this, feel free to go do exactly what I just did, and you'll get the automatic email giving you guys access to this file right here. And this is how we find more money on the table for the clients, because this thing will ask questions that most CPAs, most tax professionals will forget to ask. And then they give us their information, they sign here, and they send it in. The next form is called the 8821. This is what I've prided myself over. The 8821 is a authorization of information form. What it allows us to do is a client fills this out and basically lets the IRS know that for every single time the IRS tries to correspond with the client, send them a letter, give them a call, anything like that, they need to give us a call as well, because it allows us representation and allows us the opportunity to to explain the concepts in any letter to the client. The primary reason we do that is because oftentimes the IRS will try to intimidate or misinform our clients. They don't do things the right way and use intimidation as their primary tool. So what happens is, let's say for example, a client gets a letter on Monday. Well, we would get a letter on Monday as well, and we'll go ahead and give the client a call by Tuesday or Wednesday saying, hey client, did you get this letter from the IRS? It states that they needed evidence of document 1095-C. Do you have a copy of your 1095-C by any chance? Client's unaware. Client says, no, I didn't. We look at our documentation in our database and we say, you know what, we actually do have a copy of it. We're going to go ahead and send it off for you so you don't need to worry about it. And we get to work for our clients year round. H&R Block doesn't do that. TurboTax definitely doesn't do that. And that's how we're able to know exactly what's going on in our client's situation and their lives when it comes to their taxes. We don't just let go of them April 18th. We hold on to their hand the entire year, and we represent them in the event of an audit all the way through. If ever someone tells you that they want to do their own taxes, I'm going to address that here in a little bit. But understand, the value that BHA is able to bring just by the representation in the event of an audit alone could be several $1,000s. And so when they fill all this information in, they'll basically submit it to us. When they submit it, they get an entrance call. The call basically explains everything that we're talking about right now. The documentation kind of tells us why the client should choose BHA, things of the sort. And then what happens is that, let me go back to the presentation real quick. What happens next is you basically will go in and once they get done with everything, they get done with the process, they get their refund, we'll give them an exit call. The exit call essentially goes over their taxes with them. So over the phone, we'll have one of our guys give them a call saying, hey, your refund amount was $3,500. Your prep fee was $250. What we noticed was you could have claimed more mileage, or we try to give them a tax tip if they have anything available, and we give them ways to how they could take advantage of their opportunities better next year. And so we try to equip them. And once we're done with that, we ask them the quality assurance questions, we get some more referrals from them, and then I'm going to show you where we put those referrals for you on your behalf. So the next thing we're going to discuss is how to overcome some common objections. I don't usually like the terminology common objections. All it is how to answer your common concerns or your common questions. The most common concern or question you're going to get is, well, I do my own taxes. So the way you would overcome something like that is you qualify the objection. So all you ask is, well, why? What makes you do your own taxes? They're going to say either convenience or cost. All you ask is, have you ever had a professional look over your taxes? If a professional was able to get you back more money, even after charging his fee, is there any reason you would still want to self-file? If they still aren't, understanding your situation, or they weren't wanting to get an audit, or they weren't wanting to get a quote, then you want to ask them who's going to represent you when you get audited. Not if you get audited, but when. See, the IRS has realized it's much easier to charge 1 million people $100 through audits than it is to try to get a Donald Trump. So when you have a lot of money, there's a lot of ways you can get attorneys to get you out of situations. But when you're the average individual like you or me or our clients, we fall victim to the IRS all the time just out of sheer intimidation. So who's going to represent you when you self-file in the event of an audit? If that doesn't work, the last two things, and this last one I haven't done myself, but I was told worked, is the first one is you can simply qualify them again. You just ask them, you challenge them a little bit, and all you do is when they say, hey, I'm going to file my own taxes, you say, fantastic. What are you going to be doing about the 2017 tax implications for individual filers? All that's saying is, what are you going to do for any liabilities you're going to have? Most people, even at that point, don't know something as basic as what the PATH Act is. You build value in the eyes of the individual, and they're going to realize you know a little bit more about tax law than they do, and they're going to be curious. The last way, this is how I was told this worked. Now, I've never experienced it myself. I'm sure you guys can try and let me know. But you ask, do you ever cut your own hair? The individuals most of the time will say no. You say, okay, who do you think does better work at cutting hair, you or a salon expert? Naturally, the answer is a salon expert. So then you can rebuttal with, why would you use that logic and use a professional for something as little as your hair, but then turn around and play Russian roulette with your personal taxes? Now, I like it because it's a haymaker, but I don't know how effective it is. So you guys can utilize that and let me know. The other objection you're going to get is, I have somebody else that does my taxes. That's very simple. All you do is you ask them, have you ever gotten a second opinion? If it didn't cost you anything to get one, is there any reason why you wouldn't? That one's pretty simple. Most people that actually get a professional to do their taxes, they understand the value. Then all you got to do is build more value and you get their business. The last one is that they say, I already filed my taxes. And some people already have. A lot of people, we're in the third week of tax season. They have already filed their taxes. For those people, honestly, all you can do is audit their taxes for them. Offer them the free audit that we do. If we're able to save them any more money, we'll talk to them. It may or may not be worth their money or their time to be able to do taxes with us. However, if it is, it's something that's definitely worth them knowing. What we're going to be doing throughout the tax season is we're going to be posting on Facebook some client testimonials, and I'd love for you to leverage that for yourself. We're going to post before and afters with TurboTax, before and afters with H&R Block, and you can use that as another tool to put into your belt. You don't want to ever overwhelm a client trying to overcome some objections. You just want to answer with one or two questions. The biggest question you have, though, is, how do I get off to a fast start? So let's talk about that real quick. The way you're going to get off to a fast start is, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find out who your coach is. So if you don't already know who your coach is, text or email Morgan at morgan.bradley@bhataxservices.com, or contact us at bhataxservices.com and say, hey, this is my name, who's my coach? And we'll get back to you within 24 hours, letting you know who your coach is. Then schedule a time to meet with your coach, either face-to-face if you're local, or online through Hangouts or any of the many other options there are these days, and discuss your goals. Figure out what you want out of tax season. Discuss your schedule. Make sure you have solid yellow lines. You need to know what time, what day you're going to be working taxes. Your tax business cannot afford, especially because there's only 7 to 8 weeks left in tax season, you can't afford to take an unnecessary day off. If you need to spend an hour a day, you need to spend your hour a day. If you wouldn't take off your job, you shouldn't take off your own business. Then build your top 100. And if you're on my team, I tell people that your goal should be to help 25 people strive for 5. If you do that, the worst case scenario is you make $20,000. I'm going to show you what it looks like for you guys right now, but the last thing I'm going to tell you before we switch over is be the squeaky wheel, because the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the oil. Don't ever feel like you're being, naggy, or feel like you're being bothersome, because ultimately your future is not in anyone else's hands but your own. So you shouldn't be concerned with what home office is worried about when it comes to you. You need to be the one being like, hey, I need information, get on top of it. Now let me show you real quick what we've built for you guys. This right here is how we stay in touch with you. So this is a cool little Excel spreadsheet we designed. Each contract or each marketer gets one that is paired to their coach. All you'll do is you'll upload all your warm market individuals, your top 100 people that you know. They could be in your phone, they could be on Facebook, however you want to do that. I tell people to start with 100. If you don't have 100, you start with what you got. You tell your coach, they'll walk you through it. You put the first name, the last name, the phone number of the individual. If you know the email, great. If you don't, you're going to get it via text. You put the referral code that they get and when the first time was that you contacted them. So in this case, it's Baber Hussein. That's the home office phone number. That's a home office email address. This is the referral code. And I texted him in the future, I believe. Then it's, did he get the welcome email? Well, when I call, I'll find out. Did you get the welcome email? So that's why the welcome call is there. If it is red font and blue background, that is something your coach is going to be updating. If it's the black font with white, you're updating that information. Once we do the welcome call, we will inform them to upload all the documentation that you see here. If you see after 3 days from this date that something's missing, you're going to be giving them the follow-up call, and your coach will walk you through how to do that. If after 7 days there's still information missing, then you put the date that you called them, and you help them get the information. If, however, they've got the information in, you put NA if they didn't hit 7 days, and you put NA if they did not hit 3 days. Up top, you're going to see the calendar, the schedule for the week, and you can set with your coach, hey, Mondays from 6 to 10, I'm going to be doing taxes. So they can call you, they can correspond with you. You'll see every single client, every single prospect in here. They'll tell you the return status, if it's been submitted, how much the prep fee was. As soon as you enter the prep fee here, it'll populate your cash flow right here. And this is a hypothetical for you. This is your goal. So how many people do you want to help strive for 5? You put however many you want to help strive for 5. I tell my guys to put 25 there. And then how many average referrals do you get per client? It ranges between 2 and 3, so I always put 2 on the low end. The average prep fee, and then that's what you would make when you hit all those goals. Now we keep updating this on a constant and consistent basis. This is your little legend. We'll be highlighting things for you. And if you have any questions, you can always come up here, and this chat box would be open whenever you have a coach. Now this spreadsheet isn't being shared right now, that's why you can't see that. And your coach will be able to answer any question you have. Guys, the system has been designed to accommodate you to the best of our ability. We want you to win because if you win big this season, next season is going to be big for everybody. So we want you to win. We want you to win big, make a lot of money, go help a lot of families, do right by everybody. And I can't wait to get the opportunity to meet you guys one-on-one someday. If you ever need anything, shoot us an email at contact@BHA Tax Services or me personally at baber.hussein. You see my first name and my last name on the spreadsheet at bhataxservices.com. I look forward to seeing you guys. Bye-bye.